Am I the a-hole for telling my son that he is obviously gay? My son, 17 meters, has apparently been in the closet for the past 7 months. So my son is fairly masculine, straight acting, if that makes sense. However, he's very obviously had a boyfriend 18 meters for the past 7 months. He sometimes baby talks to this boy, hugs him all the time, has called him handsome, share clothes, sits away too. Close to each other to the point where they're basically cuddling. He closes his bedroom door when with Kim, but not any other friends sees him. Like every day, buys him gifts, and for the past 7 months he now always smells great. Has his hair fixed really nice and dresses nicer, among other things. Today I asked my son if was going to invite his boyfriend on our trip, and he got awkward and said, "That's not funny." I asked what he meant, and he said, "I'm straight, that's not funny." I laughed, and when I realized he was serious, I started laughing even harder. I told him he was very obviously in a relationship with a guy and did a terrible job at hiding it. He got emotional and started asking me not to tell his dad. My husband already knows, like I said it was obvious. Then he got upset saying outed him when he wasn't ready. He hasn't said a word to me in a couple days. Am I the a-hole?
Am I the a-hole for setting boundaries with my boyfriend's daughter? I 39F have been with my boyfriend for a little over 2 years, and I've known his children for about 6 months. He has 2 daughters with his ex-wife, who are 16 and 10. Their mother is married and they both seem very close to their stepdad, which I'm happy for them for. However, as I've gotten to know them, it's become really obvious that they view him as more of a parental figure than me, and even their actual father at times. His older daughter even took her driving test in her stepdad's car. They both call their stepfather dad, and while they both seem to respect and appreciate him more, his older daughter is over the top with it. Eventually I asked both of them to stop calling him dad. To their credit, they did. Both seemed like they were trying not to. In front of my boyfriend, and for a few weeks everything seemed fine. However, I found out later from his younger daughter that his older daughter still does it when we aren't around. The next time I saw her was about 2 weeks ago, and I sat her down to talk to her about it, which she didn't want to, but I was firm. I told him that if she was old enough to drive, she was old enough to understand that the household rules apply, even outside of the house. She just rolled her eyes at me and told me to mind my business. I was frustrated but didn't think it was that big of a deal. My boyfriend told me that he agrees with me, but I should have let it go. And I told him that wouldn't teach her anything. It was actually her mother who was the most upset about it. She called me after my boyfriend dropped his daughters off at her house the next day and told me that I had no business telling her daughter what to call her husband and that I was way out of line. She went on and on about how if I actually cared about them, I'd be happy that they have a father figure since my boyfriend wasn't going to do it. I told her that was enough and that my boyfriend was a good father, and she hung up. His older daughter isn't speaking to either of us now and skipped their last visit with us. Am I the a-hole?
Am I the a-hole for coming to dinner basically topless? I've dreaded posting for a while because I'm afraid I might be the hour, but I just gotta know. So here goes. My parents-in-law and brother-in-law came to visit and stay for a month with my husband to 7M and I to 8F after I had my baby. For context, if it makes any difference, I'm German, husband and his family are Italian. The baby was 3 months old at the time, and I breastfeed her. Usually I just nurse on the couch in the living room, but because company was staying, I'd go to my bedroom. After I nursed her, she'd fall asleep and take a nap, and I'd have some free time. Since family was visiting, I tried to plan her Naps around our mealtime to spend time with family uninterrupted. My mother-in-law has this thing that when food is on the table, you be there pronto. Sometimes I'd be late coming to a meal because babies can be unpredictable and she wouldn't fall asleep right away or nurse longer than normal. To this my mother-in-law would barge into my room and a noose food was ready, all impatient. This startled the baby and made the process last much longer than it should have. The result is I had to eat much later than everyone else, alone, and the food was cold. It left me fuming, more work to do with the baby and I'm secluded. This happened several times. I asked my husband to talk to her and explain I can't always come on time. He talked to her but she still did all this anyway, so I simply decided to stop being late to the dinners. The next time she barged in my room and announced food was ready, I came without hesitation. I came to the table exactly as I was. No shirt, half a bra, baby hanging on one tit. Nothing was seen as the baby's head. Covered up everything anyway, but still, in so uproar, goes something like, Mill exclaims, "What the hell I'm doing at the table like this? I'm indecent, there are men at the table. I should be ashamed." I yell back, "What the hell does she keep calling me to the table for if I'm not yet ready? I have no reason to be in my room alone with my baby while everyone else is out, having a great time together." Brother and Phil are trying not to get in on the argument. Husband ushers me back to my room and scolds me, taking his mother's side. He means he gets I'm frustrated, but this action didn't help anything. But after that meal didn't bother again while I was busy with the baby. So what if I came to some meals a little after everyone had started eating? The roof didn't cave in. Anyways, everyone lived happily ever after. The end. Emmy the Ahole.
AI the Ahole for refusing to take care of my children. I 26F gave birth to my second child 2 days ago. It was a beautiful home birth, so I was never discharged from the hospital. With my first and this pregnancy, I made it clear to my husband I wanted to follow the 5-5-5 rule. He seemed to drag his feet, but because he wanted kids more than I did, he agreed. I still love my kids dearly and wouldn't not have them now. I just didn't want to go through pregnancy. First 5 days in bed, nothing but skin to skin with my daughter, breastfeeding and resting. Next 5 days on bed, sitting up, still breastfeeding, cuddling with baby, doing homework with my son, crossword puzzles, etc. Next 5 after that around bed, still majority resting, but doing light chores, folding laundry, diaper changing, just not standing for more than 30 minutes, all while still cuddling with baby, breastfeeding baby, doing homework with my son and coloring. This baby is very colicky and my husband is the one having to get out of bed, walk around with her and sit in the rocking chair, do diapers and take her and our son on walks to get some sunshine. Our son 5 has started acting out at home due to the stress of the new baby and lack of sleep. We've offered him going to my parents next door and he seems interested. We've prepared a month's worth of freezer meals, so for dinner all he has to do is throw the disposable tin in the oven and walk away for a few hours. We have more than enough disposable dishwasher. We have a dog he needs to feed and take out in walks with the kids. Today he came to me crying, saying it was all too much and he couldn't do this by himself. I reminded him that he agreed to it and I have to go back to work shortly after the 5-5-5 is up. So I need to be as rested and healed as possible so I can better perform tasks at work, then come home and perform tasks as well. He begged me to help out with our son, who will not sit still, and help with light cleaning, wiping countertops, gathering clutter into a pile, etc. I again said no, I am entitled to rest and I will help around the house in 8 days. Edit to Ed. I'm not looking for advice on the 5-5-5 method. That's not what this post is about. Please comment below on all stories today. Thanks for watching.